Hey all, welcome to another awesome session on Azure Monitor and Logic Apps by Massimo. So Massimo came to us a couple of weeks ago and presented really neat presentation on the use of Azure functions and integration components, which was really great. So this is a second session of Massimo's presentation, which is using another integration component called Logic Apps. So thank you and welcome, Massimo, for this.
Okay,
So
I can start. Oh, okay. No, sorry.
Oh, no,
Up to you.
sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
So this presentation is done on behalf of the Azure Cloud Commanders Learning Room. So we're a bunch of Microsoft Teams tenancy, a community where people can come and join different communities. Like, for example, there's an Azure Fabric one. I run a Microsoft architecture, Microsoft administration room. We've got data and AI room. So make sure you check out the learning communities and join them. They're all free. We're just here to help get involved. So this session will be recorded for those who can't make it today. If you do not consent to being recorded, please disconnect your line. Attendee names are hidden by default on the recording, but if you come off mute or start talking and you mention things about maybe company names and things like that, just keep that in mind that it is recorded. This session is an inclusive session, so just be welcoming, respectful. Everyone comes from different diverse backgrounds, different technology understanding as well. So the technology that we're talking about today, you might have only heard of it today, where the person virtually beside you, may have been working on it for a couple of years. So just be welcoming, use the chat to ask questions. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time at the end for any questions that you have. So make sure you think about those. It's a great opportunity. And yeah, just be kind. And yeah, Massimo, take it away. Welcome. Thank you.
Okay. I share my screen. Give 1 moment. It's okay. Perfect. So, first of all, thank you to invite me. It was a pleasure last time. I think it's a pleasure today. And I hope these 2 sessions will be helpful for the people. We talk about Azure automation. This is the second part. Last time we talked about Evergrid and Azure Function. Today we talk about Azure Alert and Logic App. And first of all, who I am is not important, but yeah, just to introduce myself. My name is Massimo, as you can understand by the gesture of my arms and the name. I'm Italian. I live in Rome. I have a lot of experience in the IT world. 20 plus means more or less 30 years. And I'm a technical speaker and technical trainer, so I like to share my knowledge with the other. I'm a community guy. I managed a couple of communities in Rome for several years. So you can find my references here, my LinkedIn, my mail, and also my GitHub profile. You can find the demos of the other session and this one in my profile, in my repos. And just to start, I would like to recap what we talked about last time. We start from the automation definition. So this is the definition of the International Society of Automation. So the automation is the technique you implement of making an apparatus and processing, in our case, the Azure resources operate automatically. So something happened, you want to react, you want to take some task and execute some task to remediate or to do something. Okay, so this is the approach we want to talk about. We talk about 2 different components when you talk about automation. First of all, you need to understand, you need to observe a resource. You need to understand that you need to do something, for example. And in Azure, you have basically 2 main technologies that are events We talked about the events last time. And we talked about event grid. Event grid is a routing of event. And today we talk about alerts. Alerts is related to the monitoring. So if something happened in your resource and your resource write something in the monitoring part, in your monitoring, or you write a log in monitoring, you can react and do something. Timer is another React mechanism. Sometimes you need to do a task after amount of time. I don't know. You need, for example, if you are a service that you access to using a key, you need to to change the key periodically. So timer is another tool. And generally, you have in the second module, second component, the compute part. So you need to understand that something happened and you need to do something. So you need a compute part to do something. And in this case, it's important to use a technology that is the cheapest. Cheapest doesn't mean you don't spend anything. It means that you spend the right one. So if you run your compute part for several times and you check and you check and you check, you make a polling, probably you waste your money because for the major part of the time, you don't do anything. You need to find something that React that will be executed only if something happened. And these technologies are the serverless technologies. And in Azure, you have a couple of interesting technologies. One is the Azure Function. We talked about Azure Function last time. And today we talk about Azure Logic Apps. More or less is similar, but yeah, we can see the point of view is completely different. But you can use both if you want. And also you can mix and match. Last time we used Event Grid with Azure Function. If you want, you can use Event Grid with Logic App and the alert with the function. It's just as you prefer. Honestly, I prefer Azure Function, but also Logic App are very interesting. So why serverless? First of all, it is an event-driven automation. So something happened, there is an event or an alert, and you do something. So the serverless platform provides you an event-driven compute. So your piece of code, your Logic App will be executed only if something happened. If an event will be routed by event grid or a monitor event happened. So it's exactly what you need. Scalability. In automation is not mandatory, but scalability means if one event will be true, your function run one time. But if the number of events grow rapidly, the platform, the solution, the technology will scale. Basically based on the event. So it's completely what you need. You need to focus on business logic. When you use an Azure function, and we will see also in Logic App, you don't think about how can host your function, how you can run your function. Just write the piece of code to manage your business logic. So it's the minimum number of line of code you need to write to solve the problem. So yeah, you can spend your time to do something more interesting, I think. And also the cost efficiency. You pay generally in this kind of technology, you pay if your function, your Logic App will be executed. So if nothing happened in your system, you don't pay anything. You pay anything the right amount of money. So you don't waste your money in this with this technology. So we talk about Azure Alert. What is Azure Alert or Monitor Alert? You can find a different name. When you create an alert, you can notify, or when I talk about notify, I mean a human notification. I will talk to you about email or SMS or call, telephone call, but also notify in a computer science way. So you can call a service. So you can implement both. If an issue if you have an issue in your infrastructure, so in your monitoring data, you can do something. It's important because in your monitor data, you have your own log. You have your application log. So if you write the log in the right way, you can say, hey, if something happened in the log, do something. At least send me an email. Okay, it's important because you can react or something that happened in the monitoring part of your data, of your Azure. So every resource in Azure can write in the monitor, write in the monitor, not can write, write in the monitor, and then you can react about that. So this is the architecture you can find in the documentation. I put the documentation and all the helpful part of the learning documentation in the last slide with all the references and also the reference to my demos. You have your Azure resource. It means a virtual machine or a website or a Cosmos DB or a SQL or a storage, an OpenAI, for example. They emit telemetry and this telemetry arrive in the monitor and you can evaluate this telemetry. I will show how. And then when something happened, I don't know, someone turn off your website, I will show you the demo. You can do what? You can create an alert. You have an interface, a dashboard to see that something happened. You can, adding action, and also it's important sending a notification or do something. Sending a notification means send an email or an SMS or a call, but you can call a logic app, an external website, or do something. And you can do more than one operation. So you can react. In our demo at the end of this presentation, we react to when someone stop your website, we react and restart the website using a logic app. So it's very easy, but you can understand the powerful of this kind of technology. So take a look of these 3 points, number 2, number 3, and number 4. The alert rule, what is an alert rule? The alert rule is the definition of what you are looking for, what you are looking in the monitor, what you are observe in the monitor, and what is the condition? What it mean? You set up a scope. Scope is the resource you are observe, your website, your virtual machine, your network. I don't know. You take a signal. Signal means a metric. Metric means a number. The number of the percentage of CPU in a certain amount in a certain time, or the number of requests received by an endpoint in the last 5 minutes. I don't know, but also the operation, the stop website operation, the stop when you stop a website, when you rotate a key, when you create a resource, you in Azure you have a trace of what you are doing, the activity log. So you can check the activity log, and then the condition. The condition is exactly what I said. So the CPU more than 80%, or the number of requests in amount of time. Another example: if you are using an Azure OpenAI, you pay for the token, and if you want to know if someone start to consume a lot of token, so because the token consumed in the unit of time is something you have in the monitor, you can react and do, I don't know, turn off the endpoint, or change the quota of the Azure OpenAI. So you can do a lot of things. So the alert rule combines the resource you are observe, you are monitoring, the signal or data, or depends on the signal. It's maybe a log, or maybe a number, maybe a metric, and the condition: less than, greater than, it's equal to, and so on. Okay. And finally, the alert is triggered if the conditions are met. So you define a condition, and this condition will be observed, will be checked at every amount of time. You can define the amount of time, and when the condition is okay, it's verified, the alert is triggered. And when the alert is triggered, what's happened? You have a group of notification preferences. So you have the name is action group. In the action group, you can say, hey, when this alert will be through, send this kind of mail and SMS and make a call and so on, and then make an action. So call this endpoint, call another platform, another cloud, I don't know, call an endpoint exposed by your on-prem and so on. So you can create the action group. You have an alert, the alert rule. You create an action group. The action group is something is external to the alert, and you can say this alert uses this action group. Why? Because you can have more than one alert rule, but the same behavior. The action group is the behavior of your alert. So you can say you can define the behavior and say this, and that alert rule have the same behavior, use the same action group. The notification may be, as I said twice or three times in this session, the email, the SMS, the voice, or the push notification in the Azure app application you have on the smartphone. And also the action. The action may be run an automation runbook. I mentioned automation runbook also last time as one of the handlers of the routing of Event Grid event. Automation runbook is something you can write in Python or PowerShell inside the automation account in Azure, and you can do something in Azure or on-prem. So the condition of the alert is met, then you run the runbook, and the runbook virtually can do whatever you want. You can write the alert inside the event tab because you want to read from outside. You can call an Azure function and a logic app, a webhook, so you can expose from your data center on-prem a webhook, and the alert will call you directly. ETSM is a service now on-prem, so you can reach a service now on-prem. There is a connector. You need to install a connector, but you have a wizard in the portal. I show you in a while. And as I said, you can use action group more than one rule. So the action group is the behavior. So I don't know if you are observe all your network infrastructure structures, you have more than one network, you create one alert, one action group, and you can say this network use the alert on these networks, network use this action group, the alert on this another use the same action group. You write the action group one time, probably because you reuse several times in your alerts. What you can alert on, metric values, as I said, the number of requests of an endpoint, the number of tokens prompting to an OpenAI, the CPU of the virtual machine is a metric, are metrics. So value with the time unit. Generally, you have a time unit, 1 minute, 5 minutes. So the number, the average of CPU in the last 1 minute. If the average of the CPU in the last 1 minute is more than 90%, do something. Log search, what does it mean? You write a log in your application, I suppose. So you can say, hey, if in my log there is some combination of logs, do something. It's important. It's very powerful because it's something. This kind of query can be related to business because you can write a custom metric in your log, and your custom metric may be something related to the business. I don't know, the number of invoices not paid in the last month. I don't know, and you do something. The log events, the activity log events is every time you do something in Azure, you will generate an activity log. So if I try to stop a website, there is an activity log. I can react to that activity log, that specific kind of activity log, and do something. Smart detection is something you have in Application Insights. Application Insights is the the tool, the service you can use to collect your application log, but application insights give you more interesting things. Smart detection is something, for example, application insights makes for you. If you want to understand if your endpoint, your website, your home page, the performance of your home page have a degradation in the time, is not an easy query. You cannot test the performance, the time, the duration time now, and say if now it's more than yesterday, I have a degradation. No, because it's something. It is a statistic approach. You have this kind of statistics approach. Some of these smart detection are related to behind the scene. You have some AI models. You have in application insight by default. You can deactivate if you don't want, but you can react. So if your web page, home page has a degradation in the last week, do something. Prometheus is a tool, very useful tool. So you can use also Prometheus in the alert. Okay, I will show you a demo. Let me open the portal. For example, I want to react if someone try to rotate the keys of the storage. This is a storage. Let me increase the zoom. As you know, probably you can access to the storage in three different ways. One of these is using the key. You can use this key, for example, and access to the storage. But if someone change your keys, your application stop working probably. You need to rotate, yes, but if someone else go there and click on this, your application stops working because the application is using an old key. Okay, I want to be informed if someone try to rotate. How I can do it? If you go to the left part of your resource, every resource, also even the resource group, even the subscription, even the tenant, you have this part. This is the alert. So you go there, and here I don't have any rule, so I can create a rule. The first thing is the scope, okay? But now the scope is the storage. So if you start from a resource, the scope is the resource. If you want, you can search here in the search part of the portal. You can search alert and start from the scratch. So the first thing you need to check to define is the scope. The second one is the signal name. So you can check this one. But Massimo, you tell we can check the activity log. We don't see the activity log just because you need to go to the see all signals. And here you have a lot of signal you can check. For example, let me find this one, for example, regenerate storage account keys. So I want to check this one, apply. And when you choose the signal, the portal gives you a graphic, a draw here. In this case, the number of event, the number of this kind of log in the last 6 hours, 12 hours, over the last week. I never changed the keys in the storage, so I don't have any signal here. If you select a metric, here you have the draw of the metric. So what is the purpose is you can see the metric in the last 6 hours. You can put the right threshold, the right condition. Yeah, just something you have. Then the event, when an activity log will be right in the monitoring, it is a log. You know that log has different level, so you can have the critical error warning, informational purpose. Now I want all, but you have more than one status. When you send the command, rotate the key. You click on the button, rotate the key. You send the command. This one. But if you don't have the right permission, the command will fail. If you are the right permission, as I show you in the portal, the event is succeeded. So the key will be changed only if the command is succeeded. So in my simple demo, I want to know only the succeeded event. And you can see here, I changed this last time. I don't remember, yesterday or this morning. I don't remember, but I changed in one time in the past. So it showed me the event. And if you want, you can check what is the source, well, who is the service, the user that initiate this kind of command. Here you can search for a user, for example. Let me check. I don't have a Massimo name. I don't remember. You can put the name of the user or a service. Yeah, just if you want to check the event, yeah, the log, and only the log generated by a particular user identity in general. I want to know everything. So here you have the preview of the condition. So whenever the activity log has an event with category administrative, signal name, blah, 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 and status succeeded. Next, I choose the action. This one is in preview. It's a way to avoid using the action group. It just, if you want to send an email notification or an Azure mobile app or another email. I don't like it because I think the action group is important because you can create an action group and reuse multiple times. So if you send an email to this guy, for example, this is my account, and you have, I don't know, 100 alerts, and you use this quick action. If Massimo go away and you need to change the mail, you need to go to every single alert and change the email. If you create an action group, go to the action group and change. So it's my opinion, but it's just my opinion. The best way is using an action group. Now I have a set of action group, but I want to show you how you can create. Go here. It's a resource, so you need to set up the subscription, the resource group, because it is a resource. You can choose if you want a global. Global means that Azure provide two different regions for your action group. And if one region goes down, the action group will be will be created in another region. What is the advantage? If you have a problem in a region and the action group is in the same region and the region goes down, you don't receive anything because the region goes down. If you are a global action group and your region goes down, the alert arrive, the communication will arrive because the action group is in another one. But the question is why you have also a region like this? Because in some regulation you cannot have a global object. So this is the reason why. Okay, but if you can use global, the name, my action group, and the display. The display name is something happened in the alert. When the alert will be thrown, you have the display name. So my action. Just you need to have a limit of 12 characters, but anyway. Second step, the notification. So you want to send an email to Azure Resource Manager role is a particular role in Azure, or you want to send an email or an SMS or an Azure mobile app notification or a call. You can configure one or more if you want. you give a name. Sorry, let me remove. You can give a name. You can put more than one. Notification number 1. I don't know. Sorry, the name must be without any space. And notification number 2, and so on. Okay. Yeah, I don't have put the notification, so the error is the you need to create an email or yeah, an SMS and so on. Let me delete because I don't need now. Next, third step, the actions. Here you can exactly what I said you send calling automation runbook and Azure function and event tab and so on. If you choose an Azure function, you can select. I don't have any Azure function for this demo, but you can choose. And also, again, you can have more than one. Okay, and of course the communication is in sequence. So first the Azure, first the first one, then the second, and so on. And anyway, I don't need to create. I want to use the action group I already have, and then details. In this wizard, if I need to tell my opinion, the details probably I move the details in the first part, but yeah, you can have the detail is the name of the alert rule. My alert rule. I give a suggestion, a tip. When you use a name, put the right name. If the rule is related to change the key in the storage, blah blah blah, the name is check the change the key change in the storage, blah blah blah, because you can have multiple rule. And it's very difficult to understand what is the real rule if you call the rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, and rule 4. You have the description, yes, but in the dashboard you have rule 1, rule 2, rule 3. So you need to go deeply to understand. So the idea is give a good name. Okay, as usual, you need to give a good name in all the resources, but in this case you can have multiple rule. So you finish, review and create. That's all. I will show you a new an alert. Why I don't complete? Because this is one limitation of the alert. The alert will be true, will be fired when the log, in this case, or the metric, will be arriving the monitor. And it is something near real time. In my subscription, this is a developer subscription, a log, an activity log or a metric will arrive in the monitor after a couple of minutes or 3 minutes. So if I try, I need to wait for 3 minutes. So I prefer to show you the real demo at the end. This is a limitation. Last time I mentioned the events, and I mentioned event grid as routing of the events. And I say every time you do something, the event will be immediately fired from the resource. In this case, the alert will be fired when the metric or the log will arrive in the monitor, and it's happened after 1 minute. Yeah, in the production probably 1 minute. So it's not immediate, an immediate reaction. Okay, it's okay. Go ahead. We talk about cost. It's important, the cost. So depends on what kind of signal you are using. For example, if you use the metric, you pay $0.10 every metric you monitor for per month, so it's not a lot. If you're using activity log, you can have for each subscription only 100 rule, but they are free. So in our demos, for example, the cost is 0. Then you pay for the feature. So if you need to send email, you have 1,000 emails per month free, and then you pay $2 every 100,000 emails. So it's not enough. Okay. If you want to restart the website every time someone stops it, and suppose the stop command will be executed every month 1,000 times, you need to find the people that stop 1,000 times. It's a lot. You pay 0 because it's something related to activity log. Okay, and the activity log are free. Why the activity log is free and the metric are not free? Because activity log are managed by the platform. Azure take your every time you send a command, and it's the command is valid also from the portal, but also if you send a bash command or an SDK command. Every time arrive a command, Azure manage that command, so can check if the log is what you want to check. For the metric, Azure need to put a little piece of code that check the metric. So this is the reason why the metric is something you pay. It's not enough. So $0.10 for month for metric, while activity log is free, because Azure already manage the activity log, but not manage the metric, just save. But they need to check if the metric is reach your condition or not. Logic apps. What is Logic App? Is a cloud platform. You can run Logic App in Azure and also in Azure. If you understand, Logic App is something you can run in Azure. Remember Azure Functions. Last time we talked about Azure Function, and I said you can run in Azure, but you can containerize your Azure Function and runtime run in a Kubernetes or in container apps. For Logic App, you run in Azure. Okay. You can create workflows. You cannot do with the Azure Function the basic of Azure Function, the base of Azure Function. You can do with Logic App, and the most important thing, you can integrate a lot of services not related with Azure. So I don't know, SAP or I don't know, DB2 or Oracle or another cloud like AWS and so on. I will show you some scenarios. Automate repetitive task, order processing. So someone put an invoice in a storage. You can take the invoice, I don't know, capture the OCR inside the invoice and save on the database, for example. Different system, because I told you, you have a lot of connector. The name of the object you can put in Logic App and allow you to interact with different systems is called connector. You have a lot of connector for different services. I will show you more than 300. So it's a lot. This is another difference between Azure Function and Logic App. In Azure Function, we talk, do you remember, about trigger and binding, but you have also only trigger and binding for system in Azure, like storage or Cosmos or SQL. You don't have Oracle, you don't have SAP, you don't have AWS. You need to write by yourself. Here you have the connector. So you can say, hey, Logic App is better. No, different scenarios, just simple. Just another tool, okay? Data transformation and movement is not ATL, is not like Data Factory. Data Factory is a service in Azure that allow you to make a massive ATL. But for example, you can say every time someone write a record in a particular SAP table, take this record, send an email and put on Oracle. I don't know, just transform the record and put inside Oracle. This is the scenario we are looking for today. Okay, we are looking today. So monitor and alerting, because the Logic App is one of the handler of an alert. You can set up a workflow to do something. So you can send. You can start the Logic App. Inside the Logic App, you can write in Oracle, a record in Oracle with the event. I don't know, communicate using a mail or write a message in a Teams chat or whatever you want. Okay, it's very, very, very powerful from this point of view. Scheduling and orchestration. you can run a task at a specific time and do something. You can, for example, rotate key in storage and update the application that use the keys using a logic app. So, and this is the same. You can do the same for with Azure Azure function. More or less the same. And finally, connect to external API. Yeah, Logic App can connect to external API if you have a connector, but you have a connector that can make a REST call or a SOAP call, so you can connect with whatever you want, third party or your endpoint in on-prem and so on. Some benefit. So this is these 7 box are the benefits of using Logic App. Visual Designer, what does it mean? Last time, during last session, I show you Azure Function, and you saw that Azure Function is a snippet of code in C#, in Java, in Python, in Node.js or PowerShell, but it is a snippet code. So you can take a developer and write the Azure Function. Here, it's graphical. So you can create your workflow putting some boxes, actions, connector one to the other, or making I don't know, branch, parallel branch, or if or loop, and so on. You don't need to be a developer. You can have not a developer, yeah, no code citizen, but you can write whatever you want. Flexibility and scalability. It is Logic App is a serverless solution, serverless technology. So scale up and down based on your needs. So if arrive 1 alert, it's okay. If arrive 10 alerts, the platform scale for you. So can manage your workload in an efficiently way. Integration and connectivity. You have, I told you, more than 300 connector for Microsoft services or non-Microsoft services. So writing something in S3 in AWS, you can do it. Or sending something in Google Cloud, you can do it. Okay, so you can integrate data from Azure to other platform or Azure to third-party services like Oracle or SAP and so on. Cost effective, you pay what you use. If your Logic App never runs, you don't pay anything. So it's perfect. So if an alert will be true, you pay. You manage your alert, but it's okay for you because you need to manage, and you pay only for that execution. So it's a serverless solution. Rapid development and deployment, you draw your workflow. So it's very easy to create a Logic App. For my deliveries, in the past, I needed to take a list of attendees and split those attendees in groups composed by 5 people, for example, and creating a team meeting for each group and send the team meeting to the people. If I try to solve the problem writing the code, probably I need 1 afternoon. Trust me, I spend 30 minutes to create a Logic App that I can call using a REST API. So the Logic App expose an endpoint, a REST endpoint. The Logic App split randomly the number of the number of attendees in groups composed by 5 people. Create for each of these a team meeting using the connector for Teams. Send the URL of the link using the connector for Office 365 Outlook, and so on in 30 minutes. Trust me, 30 minutes. So it's very, very rapid development. It's enterprise. It's enterprise because you have a lot of security feature, compliances, so you can use in enterprise. So the idea is if you need something, you need to write in quickly in a small time, probably it's the right one. Okay, and also you can manage using it's a graphic approach, but you have a JSON that describe the the logic app. So you can use also continuous integration, continuous deployment, and DevOps. Okay, it's graphic because you have an editor, a graphic editor, but behind the scene you have a JSON. I will show you. And you can connect a lot of services and also hybrid environment. So you can go to your data center without opening any port in your data center. So it's very, very interesting. For the hosting point of view, you have two different plans. The consumption plan is similar to the consumption plan we saw last time for the Azure function. You pay only for the action and trigger your workflow use. Remember the trigger last time? The trigger was the component in Azure function that run your function where something happened. Exactly the same. Your logic app react to an event, it is an event-driven technology, so you need a trigger. Your logic app need a trigger, so you have trigger also there. For example, you have a trigger to run your logic app if a tweet in X appear. So you don't have in function the same one, but have the same topic. The trigger is the same. The logical point of view, the trigger is the same. And also scalability and simplicity. So it's the best plan if you don't need to integrate with the network, but you want to spend the right amount of money. But you have also standard plan. Standard plan give you some networking, some network feature like VNet integration, isolation in networking. The other one, you don't have the other one. You don't have the network integration. Also, you don't have in Azure function. So it's the same. And more performance and more control depends on the scenario. Depends on the scenario. So you can choose consumption or standard. As happened for the Azure function, if you create a logic app in consumption plan, you cannot change the standard, the plan. You need to create a new one, but you extract the JSON and put on the other. So it's not very difficult. So you can. I will show you a demo. Let me go here. I don't know. You don't trust me. And then I will try to show this one. This is exactly the logic app I mentioned to create the group of people in teams and so on. As you can see, you have a logic app designer here. Come on. In the meantime, I drink. Perfect. This is how you can see the logic app. You can see this one are component. Let me, sorry. Every box is a connector. You can have action and connector. Action is something like this. This take a body arrive from the response of this function and create an object. This is an action because you don't interact with anything here. This one is a connector because this one is a connector that allows this logic app to call a function. Okay, this is a trigger. This is a manual trigger. Manual, you can see this icon is something that exposes an HTTP webhook. So I call the webhook from Postman or application, and this trigger received the post. This is the schema. It received just to show you. Come on, Massimo, you can do it. A delivery ID, a delivery type, response email, and also the collection of students, as I mentioned, the number of people per group. Okay, and then if I scroll down, I create this function, create for me the group, just take the name and create some groups of X people, every group randomly, because I can create in the best way using code. So I can call a function, and then for each group, I create a team meeting. This is invalid connection just because the connection contains a token, and the token is not valid after an amount of time. It's a lot of the time that I don't use this logic app, but you can understand. I create a team meeting. I append the data of the team meeting in an HTML, and then send an email. So it's a graphical. The first time is not so easy, but if you understand how you can create this kind of logic app, you can create in easily way. Just to show you, if I click on plus here, add an action, you have all the action, for example, SIP, read from subtable, send messages to sub SIP, call method, and so on. Let me find DB2. Well, get a row, get rows, insert row, and I don't know, AWS, ACE2. You have a lot of connector. Each of these are connector or triggers, depend. Translator, you have a lot of connectors, so you can do a lot of things. I will show you the real demo in a while. We talk about cost. You pay for what you run. So when you create a workflow, every action. So the conversion between JSON and object I mentioned, I show you in that logic app, cost 0.00025 each execution. The standard connector is the connector, for example, to connect to a storage in Azure, to a Cosmos in Azure. Enterprise connector is the SIP connector. You spend 0.001 for each execution. So for each execution, this is the cost. If you want to restart a website every time someone stops, and suppose you have 1,000 times, you need to run the logic app 1,000 times, probably your logic app is composed by one trigger that will be triggered by the alert. So it is an action. It is a standard connector, and one connector to restart the app service. Yeah, you have also an if, but yeah, I will show. More or less the cost is this one, 1,000 per this cost, and the other one, 1,000 for the other one, 0.25. So the alert is 0, is free, and this one is 0.25. So it's very cheap. Connect the dots. Someone stop your service. Azure writes the log stop web app in the activity log. Your alert, your monitor notice that the log has been written, and your alert monitor the log. The action group call the logic app, and the logic app restart the website. I will show you, and then we finish. So this is the alert. Let me scroll. Okay, this is the alert. The resources, this website, a stoppable website. Before I start, I want to be smart. I go to this website and I stop it. I told you, you need to wait a couple of minutes. In this time, I will explain the logic app and the alert while all the process is starting and completed. So back again here, and this status will be run again. Okay, so back again, go to the alert, and the scope is the website. The condition is whenever the activity log category administrative stop web app succeeded. So I want to react when someone stop the web app, and that command will be succeeded. Okay. The action is one webhook, one email, and one SMS. I will show you this action group. Okay, manage action group. I want to, let me open another portal, another tab. and I look for action group. Come on, you can do it. Action groups. Action groups. Come on. This one. Okay. I will receive an email when happened. I will receive an alert to my phone, and also this webhook will be called. This is an Logic app, as you can see here. This is Logic. Azure is the endpoint of a Logic app. So let me check if I already received the mail. It's too early, in my opinion, but let's check. No, not yet, but anyway. Back again. So this is the action group and the alert when the log stop website completed, succeeded, arrive in the monitor, call the webhook, send an email, send SMS, and the webhook is this Logic app just composed by the endpoint. This is the endpoint, the REST endpoint that will be called. I create a file also in Dropbox, but this is a demo. Just this is a test file. So I have a connector for Dropbox. And then if go to the condition. This is important. Sorry, I forgot to mention, but it's important. Every time I put here, let me go there. So this is the trigger. So it receives the request from the outside with a payload, and the payload is composed by this kind of schema. This is the schema of the alert. It's okay. It's something you have built in. If I go there, you can see here, for example, that the name of the file is operation ID.txt. This operation ID is something you have from the previous action. The previous action is the trigger. So every time an action is executed in the Logic app, that action enrich the context. So event source, operation name, status, resource ID are object properties received from the endpoint. If I go ahead, for example, here, this website is a variable I set here. This is the resource group I receive from the event. So it's interesting because every action reach the context of the execution. Okay, and you have this one. If I go there, you can see this is the name of this one. This is the name of folder. Okay, so I can add without any problem. This is a graphical one. And of course, you have the condition. This is an if. Schema ID is activity log. Okay. The operation name is stop action. Okay. And the resource type is a website. Why? Because I can, with this Logic app, I can manage a different event. So in this case, I want to manage the activity log stop action for a website. Okay. But I can add a new condition. I don't know. And also you have a parallel branch, you have a loop, and so on. You have a different kind of execution. Let me check if I received the mail. Probably need to check in the. Come on. Give me one mail. Okay, it will arrive. Let me check if I received the SMS. No, but we can check the Unstoppable website. I have a doubt. We don't wait for enough time. Anyway, let me go ahead. We finish the demo and back again. I have two ideas now why the status is already stopped. One is the time. I remember you this subscription is a dev and test. It's an MSDN subscription, so the time between the click the event and the monitor, and when the event arrives in the monitor is more or less a couple of minutes, 3 minutes. Sometimes arrive to 5 minutes. And the second one, before I check the Dropbox, and the Dropbox was in error, but I don't think it depends on that. But anyway, we check again. It's not important. Don't change anything on this demo. Just to recap the 2 sessions, we talk about the events. The advantage of the events at the PubSub approach. I remember you that you can add the subscription to a topic in the event grid, and you can add a new subscription without touching anything in place. So you don't. It's easy to add an handler. The event, this is important. The events are routed as soon as possible. So you write something in a storage, immediately the event will be thrown. So will be routed to your handler. If your handler is up and running, you receive immediately. This is the important thing. And you can filter the event based on the data in Event Grid, I mean. So in Event Grid, you can make a filtering. On the other side, you have the alert. You can create a common behavior with the action group, and you can add a new handler, but you need to change the action group. It's not a problem, but when you change the action group, all the alert with that action group receive a new handler. Maybe good, I don't know. If it's not good, you need to create a new action group. So a little bit tricky respect to the PubSub, but more or less it's the same. The alerts are signaled when the data is available in the log. It depends on the kind of the subscription you have. In my subscription, as you see in the demo, you need to wait more time to receive the alert. Yeah, in production, more or less, you have 1 minute. 1 minute enough, but anyway. And also, the advantage is you can react to your custom metrics. So you can write your application log, you can write your custom metrics, even business metric, and you can react on that. So it's important because it's very powerful. Let me check again if I received the mail.
Gotta love live demos, right?
Sorry?
Gotta love live demos.
Yeah, but I received the mail. I received the mail. This is the mail I receive. Tell me that alert on stop. This is the name of the alert. And yeah, and so on. I can go to the portal and probably, let me check, and probably, wow, the status is running. So someone stopped my website. I manage the alert and the logic app restart again. So if I start again, the logic app restart again, and so on. Okay. So come on. And I receive also the SMS. But anyway, it's just a little sample, little demo. Is not very complicated. I finish. I hope these 2 sessions are helpful for you. Again, my LinkedIn, my mail. If you have any question, I'm here. And yeah, I give you one tip. You receive the slides, and here you can find all the information about Monitor Alert and Logic App. So I'm here if you have any question.
Yeah, while we wait to see if there's any questions from the attendees, thank you very much, Massimo. It was quite a lot to digest, which is really good. So thank you for supplying the links for the Microsoft Learn documentation. I think the demo that you showed about the app service stopping and then getting the Logic app to start it again was very useful, because I can see some use cases for that where you're running a production website and then someone accidentally does something at 2 a.m. in the morning, and yeah, you'd rather have automation restart the web app than having to do it yourself, right?
Great. So I hope it is helpful. No, because sometimes in the past, someone tell me, hey, I stopped the website because I want to stop to pay for the website. But remember, if you stop the website, you continue to pay the app service plan because you don't stop the app service plan. You stop the endpoint. You stop the endpoint, the listener of the app service. So, and if you do in production, probably you want to restart or at least be informed about someone stop your website. So just to be informed, it's a great, powerful tool, I think.
We don't have any questions, but
Okay.
thank you for coming and delivering to it. Is there any last comments before I can, stop the recording?
I think you can stop.
Okay, awesome. Thanks all. Yeah, thanks for coming, and yeah, thank you very much for teaching us how to use Logic Apps with alert and monitoring. Observability is huge in Azure, so being able to know when your resources aren't behaving in the way that you expect them to is really key. So I'll stop the recording, but thank you for coming and presenting to us today.